Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Falling Over Books. For today's video, I am recommending some young adult books. So I have 7 YA books that I want to recommend, and I have like one book for each genre, I guess. So I'm probably gonna do like another recommendations video later, but I just thought I would do one because a few people have asked me to do YA recommendations, so I thought I would. Okay, first I'm going to talk about contemporary, and for this genre, for YA, I recommend A Walk in the Sun by Michelle Zink. I read this earlier this year and just loved it. It's like literally a new favorite. I absolutely adore this book. And this follows Rose, who lives on a farm, and her mother passed away and her dad is just really sad and depressed, and so essentially she has to take over and run the farm, and she is in the process of trying to find some help to help her, like to hire help. And then comes Bodhi, I think. Yes, Bodhi. And of course they obviously slowly fall in love, and I just really like this book. I think why I like it is probably more because I grew up on a farm, so that's probably why I have a stronger attachment to it, but I just thought it was really well developed and I just really liked it, so I definitely recommend this one for YA contemporary. Next, I recommend for like mystery thrillers, and that is Made for You by Marissa Marr. This came out a couple years ago, I think. Yeah, 2014. And this kind of has a little bit of a sci-fi twist to it, or maybe like more paranormal. It's about this girl, Ava, who wakes up in a hospital with kind of no memory of what happened, but then she wakes up with this ability that when she touches people, she can foresee their death. And at the same time, I think someone is trying to kill her, or they're killing people in her classmates. And she has to figure out who the killer is and whatnot. So it has a lot of other elements to the story, but it's mainly a mystery thriller. So I definitely recommend this one. It's been so long since I read it, but when I did read it, I really, really liked it. So I definitely kind of want to reread it. So I say so way too much, like stop me. Next is a dystopian sci-fi, I guess. That is Perfect Ruin by Lauren DiStefano. I have the old cover. The new cover looks like this, if you're wondering, if you're confused. I'm kind of thinking this is more sci-fi, but I feel like it's also dystopian. So they live on this, in the sky, essentially, on this planet, like in the sky floating, and they always tell these horror stories about if you fall over the edge. If you fall over the edge, you lose your mind, and all that kind of stuff, or you die or whatever. And it's super interesting, and the world building is just fantastic in my opinion. I really liked this, and it has like a very whimsical feel to it as well. So I definitely recommend this. And this is also part of a trilogy. Why do I say I definitely recommend when this is obviously recommendations video? Next one is an old one, but a goodie to me, and that is Halo by Alexandra Ardenetto. This is the first book in a trilogy. I don't know what the trilogy is called. To me, it's the Halo trilogy. This book came out back in 2010. This is 7 years old. Can you believe it? I love this trilogy. It's been a really long time since I've read it, so I don't know if I'd feel the same way now, but I still want to recommend it. And this is obviously about angels. It follows 3 angels who are sent by heaven on Earth to protect Earth, and obviously the one angel, Bethany, she meets Xavier, and he's human, and they fall in love, but that's forbidden. I just really love this trilogy, and I have vivid like memories of reading this series. I think I read this before I read like Divergent and Switched and Born at Midnight, and all of those books. So I just really love this one, and it has a great romance and a great like paranormal aspect. I really love it. Plus I love these covers. They're really pretty, and the spines are just so gorgeous on my shelves. So next book is also kind of like a paranormal recommendation. It's fantasy-ish too. Like it has so many, it's more like mythology. So that is Anti-Goddess by Cassandra. Like this is the old cover, or the first cover. This is what the first cover actually looks like now. And this follows gods who are on Earth, and they are slowly like deteriorating. And so they find this one girl, what is her name? Cassandra. And she is just like a normal girl who like, you know, lives her life. And these gods are all trying to find her to help save them, essentially. And I just loved the way this was written. It literally has one of my favorite first paragraphs. I really like this trilogy. It's great, and if you love mythology, Greek mythology, you should pick this up. I have 2 more books to recommend. The first one is a sci-fi kind of fantasy, more sci-fi like time travel, and that is 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. This is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. I love the covers as well. The covers are all so pretty. So this follows Margaret, who her parents are both scientists, so she grew up around a lot of like sciencey stuff. Words. And her mother has created this invention called the Firebird, which essentially lets you travel in different dimensions. And when Margaret's dad dies, like he gets murdered, all reason points to Paul, who worked for her parents, and so she's then chasing through dimensions to find her dad's killer and everything. Super cool. I love it. Oh, I love the romance in here. It has a great romance, great family values, or like family dynamics. So great. Like I love her parents. Her parents are just awesome in this book. The series is heartbreaking but fun and entertaining and thrilling and just so interesting. You gotta read this trilogy. So great. And my last recommendation is a historical fiction, and that is Tarnish by Catherine Longshore. I'm sure you've all heard of this book. It's actually quite old. It came out in 2013, so I'm sure you've all heard about it. But this follows kind of the story of Anne Boleyn and how it was when she arrived at court, and just her whole experience at court and falling in love with King Henry and all that kind of stuff. And this is more her as like a younger girl, so it's not like, I don't know, I just really like the way she was written in here, because I think in history we see Anne Boleyn as like this manipulative woman, but like this kind of just brings a new idea to maybe how she was, but probably not. I just found it really fascinating and really interesting. I liked the writing and the pacing, and it was just a great book. I don't really read historical fiction as much, but a lot of the historical fiction that I have read, I've truly enjoyed. So this was definitely one of them. It was a big surprise to me at how much I enjoyed it. And this actually more so takes place like before she marries the king, so it's like a lot of before that, if that makes sense. So it kind of finishes, I don't really want to spoil, but it kind of finishes like right before what happens with the king, essentially. Does that make sense? I don't know. I just thought it was really fascinating. And I believe there's a trilogy, like this is part of a standalone trilogy. Each book is about a different royal, but it's like in the same world, if that makes sense. I don't really know all the books. I know that there's a book called Guilt in this series or something. So yeah. Anyways, so those were the 7 young adult books that I had to recommend today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've read some of these books before and what you thought of them, or if you have other YA recommendations that you want to leave down below, go ahead. Thank you for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.